You sit out there a lot?
My wife does. I usually work out there a lot.
I can't see your flights on my app, but we can figure
I'm the gardener. The
Okay.
lawn boy.
You know, my daughter thinks it's Texas, but I'll just call her and tell her.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
All right, are we ready? Ready to rock and roll?
You.
Well, we're just gonna make introductions right now, so we can go around, we can record that, and whoever's on the Zoom can also introduce themselves.
Okay, we're good to go.
Okay, well, oh, there I am. Ooh, with a faded out background. All right, hello, those of you out in Zoom land. We're gonna go ahead and start meeting. Paul is gonna be the roving camera person, so you may have to move that around as we're just introducing each other. Is this set so they can, their picture will show if they want for Zoom?
There's nobody on there except for you. You're just
Oh, we're
recording.
just recording.
Yeah.
Well, then, let's just go around and say who you are, what you're most excited about, and if you're worried about anything, so good and a bad, you can just say what that is. So I'm Branton Lockman. I'm basically most excited to do this trip, which I waited 2 years specifically for this one. Wanted to do it earlier, but COVID got in the way and just a long time. And I think we have this incredible opportunity because I think the country's going to shut down to Americans after January 6th. And so, but we have that opportunity to do that. So I'm really excited about traveling with all of you, having this fantastic adventure. And what am I worried about? My cats, because they're out roving. So, Bill, here, it's like, passing the flashlight around, pointing it to your face. And who you are.
All right, I'm Bill Hedrick. I'm a retired teacher, taught for 37 years. And I was actually on the school board in Corona Norco for 22. So anyway, I'm looking forward to the trip very much. I don't have any particular worries. I think it'll be interesting and exciting, and I'm ready to go.
I'm Paula. I have no worries. I'm just excited to go. Here you go.
And you're a teacher, right?
Oh, yes, I'm the teacher. 100 years.
I'm Alicia, and I teach at USC, and I am very excited to go. I'm a historian, and I teach the history of the United States, but also the Americas, and I teach a class called Peoples and Cultures of the Americas, which does have a little focus on the Caribbean and on Cuba. I'm supposed to be able to teach the Cuban Revolution and just a lot of things. So I'm very excited to be able to be very current with that information.
Hi, I'm Lorena Sanchez. I'm also a teacher, and I'm super excited to be going. It's been a dream of mine to go to Cuba since childhood. I don't know why, but I just always wanted to go to Cuba. And no more than I'm a teacher. It's very much more something I've wanted to do. I am a little worried. I'm leaving my 8-year-old son for a few days, but that's really my main concern. But otherwise, I'm very, very excited and grateful.
Hi, I'm Noema Cortez. I'm super excited about going to Cuba. It's been on my bucket list, I could say, my whole life because I'm half Cuban. My dad is from Cuba, and he and my grandparents and my family have always shared a lot of stories, and I'm excited to go see where he's from. As for worries, my only worry is, can I squeeze everything into my luggage? Because it is 2 weeks, and I know we're not going to have access to a washer and dryer, so we might have to be hand washing. That's my only concern. But other than that, really excited to go to Cuba.
My name is Nancy, and I teach TK, and I'm excited about going to Cuba. I have no worries except the same thing. What do I bring to wear?
All right, so great. Well, kind of, I thought what we talked about today, and then you guys may have some other things you want to go on. Nothing we need to decide now. And I'm sure our tour director will have some fantastic ideas. But we get to spend New Year's in Cuba.
Yeah.
There'll be lots of cigars and lots of rum, or whatever you want. But just be thinking of, some things you might want to do along those lines. We have lots of great opportunities, and I'm sure our director will have some fun things. I have spent New Year's many times in other countries, and it's a total blast wherever we're doing. You're just gonna have a great time with that. So everybody's got the WhatsApp app. You should also get the Go Ahead app. That's the easiest way to find your flight information and so on. Now, I have to tell you, the desktop browser is crappy. You get more information from the WhatsApp app. And so I strongly encourage that you do that. I'm sorry, not the WhatsApp app, the Go Ahead app. It'll have your itinerary, it'll show what we're doing every day. It also has a way where we can chat to each other. I want to tell you, nobody ever does that. Everybody uses WhatsApp, including our tour directors and our local guides and all that stuff. So that's the thing coming up. I wrote something here and I can't even read it. Oh, so we want to talk about if there's a way to do any, if you guys want to organize some type of caravanning to the airport. So that's, kind of towards at the end there. And then also give Paula a chance to talk about gifts. And just to caution, I've learned that we're not supposed to call anything a donation. That becomes a problem because then Cuba authorities want to know, see tax forms and stuff. So, we just always refer to anything we do that way as gifts. We should have a chance to talk about that. So I've got a trip packet for you. And try to resist the temptation to just read ahead. Let me kind of go through stuff. You're all teachers, you know that when you hand out stuff, you still want them to listen to you and stay with you on it. But also, this has been emailed to you. So the links that are on a paper thing, which you can't do anything about, you have the PDF on this. Now, we have great people who could not be here today. But they're getting our recording and stuff, and they've got an email copy of this. And there's not their best light for my old eyes. Is there any more light? No, I have. This is it.
This is it.
And
Okay.
this was just emailed
Yeah.
not too long ago.
No, like an hour ago.
An hour, yeah, okay.
I might need a flashlight, Bill, something. Okay, so just some reminders. Check your email just kind of every day, just to see if I have any information for you. I do both student and adult trips, and I really have to stress this with students who never check their email. But people in our age, approximate age, thank you, sir.
Sorry, you're old.
Yeah, I know. Now, I'm giving you lots of instructions on the visa stuff. Now, Go Ahead has also sent out their email, and certainly, I'm giving you the same links, but I'm also giving you some resources and some information to help you with it. The visa should be doing right away. It takes 2 days to come back, but if there's a problem, you want to have time to get it done. So I would say this week, get it done. And again, when you go to the getting ready section of either the Go Ahead app or the other one, you can read that stuff, or you can just look at this. When I sent it to my contact, was super impressed and said, we're going to start using yours. But here are the notes on this. So the stuff in yellow. Now, if you either link where it says use this link, or you click on Cuba Travel Services, they go to the same place. The only difference is if you click on mine that says this link, it has the American Airlines logo on top, and it's going through their website. So there's a little more, maybe there's some link there that will be helpful. Now, you'll be asked some questions, and so they're right there. The reason for travel is educational purpose. So you put that in. The Cuba province is Havana. It's all there in yellow. You'll need to put in your flight info, but you get that from the online or the mobile app. So, try the online first if you're not a mobile app person. The confirmation code is the booking number, and that will be your booking number. We don't all have the same booking number, so you kind of have to look it up. But booking number, confirmation code is the same thing, and then there's an e-ticket number, so you can get all that stuff in there. Now, the other one is the travel declaration form. And this cannot be done until December 25th. It has to be done within 48 hours. That's what Go Ahead says, but I've looked online and other sites say you can do it a week ahead. So you could give it a try, but I'll stick with the official line. And again, the link is there. I will take you directly to it. I've given you directions on how to make sure it's in English for you. And I found this link, this video link for you, which you can watch, and it just tells you how to fill it out. Now, it's best to get this done at this time. It can be done at the airport, but our connection times are short. You don't want to be in the long line of people waiting to get that done. You want to already have it. And the important thing is the QR code. So when that thing gets processed, it will give you a QR code. Supposedly, you get that emailed. Now, what I found out is sometimes that email doesn't always go through. So when you get that QR code, take a screenshot of it before you leave it. And then you should both print that up and have it on your phone and not throw any of this stuff away. You'll need it coming and going. Don't throw your boarding passes away. Keep them throughout the entire trip. Okay. And then you'll be fine on all that, but you need all that stuff. So the QR code is the most important on that. Now, in terms of health insurance, Cuba requires its own separate thing, but it's already covered in your airline ticket. Now, this is separate from the trip insurance that we already had everybody get. So the Cuba insurance doesn't cover lost luggage or stuff like that. It covers if they have to, they want somebody to pay them if they have to do medical care for you. And American Airlines has already built it into the ticket. And want you to, I'm only saying this because sometimes people haven't got the regular trip insurance, but all of you have. So it's not an issue. But don't think that that insurance covers everything. It only covers, you're in a Cuba hospital seeing a Cuba doctor, then it's already covered through that special medical insurance. Any questions on that? Now, tipping. This is a little different from any other trip we've been on. It's a little more expensive. And so I've given you the rationale and everything there. So these are recommendations. You can always feel free to do what's more or less, but they're recommending $10 to $12 a day per person for the tour directors. Now, if you haven't been on a trip like this before, I can tell you that's almost not enough. They work so hard and they're 24/7 and they are smoothing so many paths around. It's well worth it for them. It's also, there's not a real good way for tour groups to pay people in Cuba. So most of what they get comes through the tips. There just isn't another way to do that. There's the approximation for 11-day trip. It'll be 153 to 177 or take, 8/13 of that. 10/13 of that, if you want to do less. Then I would just have $2. Cubans are not shy about taking American money, but we'll have an airport transfer, so you can give the driver $1 to get to the hotel, and then when we leave the hotel to the airport, just another $1. That may or may not be the same driver we have for 10 or 13 days. So then we have our other driver, and that's approximately $3 a day, which I think I put somewhere. Hope I did.
The motor coach driver? Is
Yeah.
that someone? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
First bullet.
So your tour director and your motor coach say $170. Now, this is what's different. There's no way to do these things ahead of time. So we have speakers, we have local guides, We have local taxis where we'll go in as groups that our tour director arranges. And these people essentially make no money. And so the suggestion is to take another $140 in small bills, put that in an envelope, and we give that to the tour director when we get there. And the tour director will distribute that. And it's really convenient. So the last 2 adult trips I did this summer, one was to Morocco, one was to Thailand. That's how it was done. And it was, they would just arrange these great things. They would have dancers come for us, and then they would come up and give the tip. You didn't have to worry about it. So essentially, you've got, say, $170 approximately for them. Now, go ahead, we'll say, do this in small bills. I think everybody in Cuba knows how to work the black market. So I'm not necessarily taking small bills. I'm going to take what I have, but I won't take a huge effort to have like $1,400 dollar bills. And I'm not saying it's 1,400, but whatever. I mean, if I give 140 to the tour director, a tour director will figure out how to break that money up, I'm sure. But if you've got the smaller bills and you can do it in, ones and fives, or maybe a couple of tens, that would certainly make it easier for them. And then as far as their money goes, Go Ahead gives you all these ideas about, how to change your money into the Cuban peso. And there's 2 different types of pesos, and only one is still good. But on one of the resources that I've given you here, you can look that up on how to recognize all that stuff, or you can be just like me and just use American dollars. And then our tour director will tell us otherwise, or the tour director will arrange for you to exchange. And the official way to arrange is to use the official, which has sort of crappy conversion rates. But, after a couple of rums, the tour director might be saying, okay, here's how you get a better rate, or he may just do it. Here, give me your money, ask no questions, he'll come back. So just wait on that. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't be anxious, bring money. That's the main thing.
Bring US.
Yeah. You could bring euros, and when you look at the currency thing here, for example, but even the people who tell you how to do it don't recommend it. So your credit cards and stuff probably won't work if they're through US banks. So if you have another bank, you could give it a whack and see. But I still suggest, calling your bank or whatever, letting them know you're traveling internationally. Mine is super paranoid. If I don't call them and I try to buy a hot dog in Miami, they're going to shut my card down because I didn't tell them I was going to Miami. So I would just, do those kinds of things on that. Now, tipping in restaurants, when we're at a group, you don't have to tip, unless somebody really, lap danced you or whatever. I don't know what they do in Cuba, and you want to, oh God, that's on tape, isn't it? So it's not there. And otherwise, you could save 10 to 15% or just leave change left over. But see, you're not buying your own meals. We're all covered except for, I think, one meal where you have to go out and buy something.
What meal is that?
What?
What meal is that? I thought we were.
I don't remember.
I thought it was. I thought all those were covered.
I think they're all covered but one.
Really?
Yeah.
Lost, sorry.
So eat a big lunch or something. And I think that one's going to be easy to do. Now, cell phones. So Go Ahead will tell you they don't work, but they probably will if your carrier is one of the major carriers and you have roaming. And so, for example, T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, AT&T all do roaming with ETECSA, which is Cuba's communication company. So just you check your data, check your roaming charges with your carriers ahead of time. You should be able to do that. Hotels will have Wi-Fi. It will not always be free, may not be free, but you can buy Wi-Fi there. And then if you're on Wi-Fi, you just use WhatsApp. And then all your calls, your video chats, everything else you want to do, is free worldwide. So it's really a wonderful way to go. Any questions on that?
WhatsApp is free and you can video chat through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have it on your phone yet?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way I do it when
Yeah.
we're off internationally and stuff. So you can read the section there on cell phones. So money, you can see, I've given you two links. It's on the second page up at the top where it says, see this link. That one I think is the most important, but that's actually a sub link of the other one that says additional link, which gives a lot of stuff I think you don't necessarily need. But start collecting small bills. And the idea is if you choose to exchange to Cuba currency, you can't like come back to the US and go to an exchange window, exchange it back. It's a closed currency. What happens in Cuba stays in Cuba. So if you've got, $500 worth of Cuban pesos, you're leaving them there. You can't exchange them out here. So if you choose to exchange, maybe $100 at a time or whatever you're willing to do. But remember, since practically everything is covered, the only thing you want to do is whatever you want to shop for. And most of those places, I think, are going to love dollars because that dollar is a very strong currency for them. And they just do the exchanges they need on that. The apps I'm suggesting are, get the Go Ahead app because that'll be easy with your phones if you want to look up other information. This one called CBP MPC. Now, we're all going through Miami. So when we come back, we'll come back to Miami, and that's where we'll go through customs. Now, I assume Miami will be like Los Angeles, except Los Angeles hasn't been doing it lately, but when they were doing it. But when you go to the other airports and you have the CBP app, you're going to see the long line for all the other people who are having to make oral declarations and write out the little cards that you fill out on the airlines. And then you'll see the one will say CBP, and it's like a short line. And that's what we go through. And remember, we don't have that long of a connection time between, so you'd like to do that. The way that works is you put it on your phone. You start it now, you upload your passport information and stuff like that, but you can't fill it out ahead of time. So the way it works is when we land in Miami and you're on the runway taxiing in, that's when you want to fill that thing out. It is the same thing as when they would give you the little cards. Are you bringing $50,000 in? Did you read farm animals? Except you're answering it all on the phone. You want to do it when we're taxiing in because sometimes we get in the terminals where they take us through, there may not be good service. And when you do it, then it gives you a little QR code. And then you go up there and you just show it to them and you pass right through. And we'll do that as a group, so we'll be there to help each other. But
So you'll remind us,
well, I'm reminding you now, download the app.
download the app.
Yeah. And then the Go Ahead app. Now, I also suggest downloading the American Airlines app. That's a good way to get updates, check your flight status and all of that stuff. When you go to your ticket and you have your confirmation code, here's how it's going to work for American. So I have an American Airlines frequent flyer number. And if I log in to American Airlines under my frequent flyer number, it will not show my flights. And I can put in the booking code that says I don't have it. But if I log in if I don't log in at all, I go in as a stranger and it says, what's your last name? What's your booking code? Then my flights are on the American app. And that is because these are group tickets. So my individual doesn't recognize it. Now, once you're on the app, if you have an American Airlines frequent flyer number, it gives you the opportunity then to link that to your ticket. You can also change seats, or if you want to pay for an upgrade within our section. So as far as I can tell, I don't think there's a way to upgrade first class or business, but you could upgrade to an extra legroom seat, or, they're starting to charge now for aisle seats, things like that, if you want. I wouldn't wait too long on that because, the seat's gone, right? But it's something, or if you're, I'll pick on Nancy for a moment, middle row, what happens? I mean, she can straight leg, to the chair in front of her, basically, right? So it may not be such a huge thing. I don't know.
It will be because it's a long flight. Gotta get up and move.
Yeah. So those kinds of things. But what I want to say again, so the American Airlines app, if you want to find your ticket on their app, don't sign in. Just name, booking number. It'll find your flights, and then there will be a place that will say, add your frequent flyer number, and then you'll have it. Go from there. So medications. So Cuba has pharmacies, of course. They have, in some ways, a better medical system than we do. And it's really impressive. It is world renowned, their medical care. They send doctors to like Russia to help them, kind of a thing. You'd think it'd be the other way around. But it's likely that if you have favorite OTC medications, you're not going to find them in Cuba. So bring your own ibuprofen, stuff like that, whatever you feel. We're going to talk about packing in a moment, because I know that was a concern. But I'm going to start with one phrase I want you to really remember right now. Don't pack your fears. Now, some of you may be aware of Alice Through the Looking Glass with the white knight and stuff, maybe not, where she meets this knight on the road, and he's got a tea kettle packed on the back of his horse. He's packed for every single contingency that could possibly happen, and he can't even move. So don't pack your fears. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Cubans brush their teeth? So, oh my God, I didn't bring my toothpaste. I better bring, 3 tubes. No, you can get toothpaste in Cuba, right? You can get hair conditioner. Might be expensive, which is why, Paula is saying bring some to donate, things like that. But what I'm saying is don't pack for every contingency. I mean, heck, going to basically Southern California for 13 days in late spring. The weather's going to be in the 70s. The climate's going to be the same. And so it's nice and easy. I'm not even sure I'm bringing shoes. I may only bring sandals. Okay. Your mileage may vary, but again, just don't pack your fears.
It did say to bring your own toilet paper, right?
No.
No tissue, somewhere along the line.
Yes,
it
it
said
is. So we would be backpacking our toilet paper. So it does daily.
Yes.
Oh, so yeah, I guess the idea is if for the public restrooms, now if we go into museums and stuff, they should have toilet paper, but when we're out and about, bring your own, because the public ones may not have the toilet paper.
So we do need to pack that.
Yeah. There are hacks for doing that. Take the little cardboard tube out and crush it down.
Oh.
Right. So I mean, there are ways to take
shrink
care of
it.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Or just bring cloth and wash it a lot.
No, I wish they had the days.
All right. So in terms of water, so Cuba does have, water treatment centers, and they will drink the water. But, we're strangers coming in. We don't have the same flora and fauna, whatever, in our system. So plan on, buying bottled water. Your hotel room will give you some, and the restaurants will have filtered water. But you should also bring a water bottle, because if you're like me, cheap, I don't buy the little water bottles like that. I buy the 2-gallon bottles, which cost about 50 cents more. And then I fill my water bottle from it, for staying in a hotel for a couple of days. In Egypt, I had to smuggle my big one in because the hotel wanted to save the little ones, so they would get mad at you for those big gallons in. But I'm not sure what'll happen in Cuba. But plan on bottled water. If you brush your teeth, don't swallow it, things like that. Just be, cautious. Everybody has their own attitudes on vaccines and things like that. But if you're a vaccine person, check with your provider and, see if you have what is, would be recommended for going, things like that. So backup copies, leave copies of your passport with people. Take a picture of your passport on your phone, email it to yourself. So if you don't have your phone, but you can get to something else and get your email account, just do some redundancy. And not just your passport, but your visa and your QR code. Just have those in a couple of redundant places. You'll probably never need them. And if you don't have them, that they're not going to leave you in Cuba, but you might just be missing a day of fun trying to resolve something. So have some backups in place. Take care of that.
Going back to the vaccination card, is that COVID vaccine?
No,
or
nobody's
facial-
requiring a vaccination card.
It says here.
I forgot to take it out.
Still pics of passport vaccination card. in
I
your
forgot to take that out.
Oh, okay,
I adapt this
Okay.
guide for every trip, and
okay.
its
so I
guide has
can
been in
cross
use
that
since
off.
COVID. So I missed that. Yeah, you don't need a vaccination card.
Okay.
Now, do any of you use Kaiser?
Yes.
So do you have an online account with Kaiser?
Mhm.
So you always have your records there if you can get to them. I don't know about Android phones, but I've linked Kaiser to my health app on an Apple phone. And so all my records are in basically my phone's health app as well. So there are other ways you can do that. Or don't do any of that, just go paper, go old school. All right, so packing. Now, you should get a neck wallet for your passport. You're not going to carry it with you most of the time, but you want to have it, maybe on you while we're traveling by air. And it's very unobtrusive. I'm wearing it right now.
I was going to point it out. So ridiculous, Fran.
Says Bill, who got pickpocketed.
Yeah, they have that.
Oh, I know, fanny
Yeah, you can do the fanny
pack.
packs and all that, but you need something that you want that's secure. And don't do what I've had a couple students do. Stick it in the front pocket of the airline and walk off without it.
Oh, gosh.
Or in the case of one student we don't know where, we were like on a 2-hour bus trip and we were 1 hour into it, 3-hour bus trip. We stopped at one of those little travel stops. He goes into the bathroom, takes off his shirt to wash himself, takes off his thing, puts his shirt back on. And we are already 150 miles away. And he says, I think I left my passport. And we say, where? He says, I don't know. And we don't know. It was just a travel stop. And fortunately, there was a store next to it. And one of the other students had a receipt from the store.
Okay.
We were able to call them and say, can you go over there and see if there's something in the bathroom? And then there was a tour group that was our same itinerary, but 1 day behind. And we were staying 2 days in the next place. So we overlapped and were able to get it. Don't be that person. Okay.
That's a lot of luck.
Yeah.
Where do they sell those little?
Oh, you can get them at Target, you can get them online, all kinds of places.
Yeah.
You can use Bill's because he hates his.
I used the one, the inside one.
Yeah, I have one of those also. I chose not to bring it today. So if it was a student trip, I would require everybody to do carry-on. And I want you to know, this is not a student trip, okay? But, and frankly, Air American's pretty liberal going to Cuba with onboard luggage. Whatever you want to haul, because it's not anybody else hauling it around for you.
Right.
And it can get pretty old. I haven't been to hotels, maybe some of them, it's stairs, there's no ADA there. Aid to disabled Americans, right? Not Americans. So, and also I think it's a good exercise to see what you can do. Now, I'm going to show you how I do all my trips, including when we went to Iceland in the middle of the winter, where the high temperature was 28 degrees. We wore our parkas and our boots onto the plane. And everybody in my group, this is not adults, so let your thing go down. But everybody in the group did carry on. We do that all the time. Now, I'm a pretty minimalist person, so you may not get as minimal as me.
My favorite.
This is it.
Oh, I can handle that maybe.
All your clothes in there?
Oh, I have
And
one,
everything?
I have this duffel bag, it's a roll, like the duffel bag,
Pretty
but
one.
not a roller. It's just a little bigger than that, and I got a backpack.
And, you guys won't get these. Go ahead, stop doing this, sorry. But
I have one of those.
Because I gave it to you.
No, you
Okay,
didn't.
all right.
Wrong
Anyway,
brand.
you'd be surprised at how much these things hold. I mean, this holds an incredible amount of stuff.
I love my back.
Yeah,
Oh,
that.
there.
So essentially,
Then with my wheels, you just flip it
yeah,
on.
I am a carry-on person. And I'm telling you, you can pack for 3 weeks. This, and yes, you do washing, you do it in the sink and stuff, but just rotate, use synthetics so they dry fast and stuff like that, and use layered clothes.
Cotton in Cuba.
Bill is a jeans
I looked
person,
at
but
it.
I'm not bringing
Yeah.
jeans.
Bringing jeans to Cuba, no.
No. So anyway, I just wanted you to see that. This is an Amazon Basics pack. This thing I think is wonderful. It doesn't have wheels, which means there's more space. It expands. It expands another 3 inches. It has straps if you want to do it as a backpack. And it also has a little, shoulder over the shoulder sling if you want to do it that way. It has more room than any carry-on that I've found. The only downside is it doesn't have wheels. So if you're, walking down those long moving sidewalks, you're carrying it. But the other thing is the flight attendants look at it and they just let you go down. There's no question about it. That's if you choose to do carry-on, which I do. If not, do your luggage, but watch for the sizes. Now, a majority of what's in this packet, I want to make sure we don't forget this. So do you know what travel cubes are?
Yes, I know.
Okay, being cheap, I used to always just use Ziplocs. But travel cubes are amazing.
They are great.
So if you don't have them, get them. They were really the best thing.
Yes.
Do you know what they are?
Probably.
They have them at Ross and they also have them at Marshall, Amax and Amazon.
How do they work?
They're just little.
Organizers.
And then they have the zipper and you organize your stuff in there and it squeezes it in there. Yeah, they work really well.
So you can get both. I can bring my own plastic bottles. You can get these little TSA things for your liquids.
No.
So you want to carry your medications on your carry-on in case your luggage goes somewhere else. And then you can get the packing cubes, which kind of look like that. So you can sort stuff in there. So they're really good. Other things for people of a certain age, compression stockings are always nice for the airplane. So those, Bill loves them, loves how they make his calves feel.
I won't wear them on this one probably. To Europe,
Shorter flight.
yes. 10 hours, yes.
Yeah.
5 hours with a stop and running around the airport, probably
2
not.
stops for you.
Yeah.
So a lot of this has very extensive packing guidelines. And so even like Audrey Smith, who is a female traveler. So I know you're saying, well, you're just a guy, who cares? You don't, you can pack, 2 shirts or something, but might be different for women. But Audrey, I have her packing list here. Now, I've been to 55 countries. She's been to over 100. She's been to the Arctic and to the Antarctica, all over the place. She does carry on, and she tells you specifically how to pack if that's what you want to do. And that's in the list here. You can just kind of go through it, but I've given you a bunch of stuff in here. But a couple of things. If in doubt, leave it out. You can buy stuff. Here's the idea. Take it out, bring more money. That's the answer for that. Yes.
Will we need swimwear on this trip?
We have a chance to go snorkeling.
Okay.
So, and then we'll be at some beaches. So yeah, you had that opportunity. What happens if you forget that swimwear?
You go naked.
Do you think? Do you think there might be some people there willing to sell you a swimsuit?
Yeah, on an island, right? On my side.
But what about a towel? No towel.
The hotels will provide you with
Okay,
towels.
okay, that's-
Swimwear, flip flops, swimwear, flip flop, sunscreen, we'll buy that there.
I would,
I would bring it.
I bring it and
Okay.
because I do carry on, I have these little things, I fill 2 of them. Cause I'm tired of getting, ears hacked off because of, all that
It's done
stuff.
for
Bill
you.
can tell you about that. Yeah, so bring your own sunscreen is what I do, but yes, you can buy it there. Remember, there's resorts there like every place else, and these resorts cater to people. And there will be German tourists, English tourists, Canadian tourists, everybody with money to spend. And where there's money to spend, there's products to sell.
That's great.
I don't bring a travel pillow. I did once and I hated it because then I kept worrying about it. I had to carry it the rest of the time with me.
No, I have a-
So your mileage might vary on that, but it's 5-hour flight, so I wouldn't bring one.
Not for myself, but I know my sister-in-law was planning on doing a lot of souvenir shopping. Now, that's where we would, if we were planning on that, bringing things back, that's where we need to bring on another, the.
Either bring one or buy a bag there.
There's another, and the other option, if you're, say if you're checking a bag, but you're going to buy stuff and so get a duffel bag here and just pack it. You can use that as the carry-on, as the personal item, or you can check it and keep fragile things on you when you go through. But I've bought 3 suitcases. How stupid is that? Because, well, a couple of times I had carry on and then I bought stuff and I can't bring it back. I've got no place for it.
Right.
So I bought a suitcase in Barcelona. I bought a suitcase in Vietnam, someplace else.
Morocco.
Morocco. And bottom line is, if I had had a duffel bag or an athletic bag, which I now have, I would have just stuffed the clothes or something in that, and it would have worked fine. And I wouldn't have had to buy a whole suitcase because I had half a suitcase worth of stuff that I couldn't bring.
Now, a few months ago, I looked on the American website, and I'm not sure if I included on this, but I know I sent it in one of the many emails. But American Airlines is pretty liberal going to Cuba, where for most international flights, they only let you check one thing in. But for Cuba, they'll let you check 2 bags. Now, that's what I recall. So buyer beware, check the website yourself if that's, the way you're going to run. But I've also been, and Bill has also been, when we've been on group trips and we see people lugging huge amounts of stuff, and they never use all of it. And it's just a mess. So really, I would suggest you'll be happier taking less, using the sink. Right.
And the duffel bag thing really works. I mean, it can become the carry-on. And in a worst case scenario, paying for another bag for 30 or 40 bucks is generally less than buying a suitcase would cost.
Now, Cuba uses both American style plugs and I think it's Europe, Europe style, but we're not sure if each hotel will have both. So a good thing to get, if you don't already have one, is kind of a universal adapter. I've given you a link in here if you want to get one. So it's on your sheet. So you just have to read this thoroughly. Look at all the links. They are live links on the PDF. That's from Amazon. And get one of those. I would suggest not bringing hair curlers or hair dryers if you can avoid it, or maybe share or something. If you're taking a lot of luggage, you can, but check on it. Make sure it says both, 110 and 220 or 230. Otherwise, you need to get a converter. In today's world, that's unlikely because nobody makes that stuff unless they make it for a world market. So they're covering for both. But you want to take a look at that. Another thing is, again, not knowing the state of the hotels, or if you're rooming with somebody, but there may be only one electric socket there. So, whatever you think you're going to need to charge. Sometimes what I do is I bring one of those little 6-foot extension cords and I plug my universal adapter in and I plug my extension cord into that's got multi-plugs, and then I can do it from there. So you have that option as well. If you're bringing external charges for your batteries, just remember they have to go in carry-on. If you put them in your luggage is going to be pulled. You're going to have to go back through security. You're going to have to take it out, then you have to come through security again with it. And then check the sizes. So, again, I'm not sure about American, but I think the average is, they use what are called milli something. It's like 14,400 is the limit for one of them. So if yours is like 20,000, it's not going to get on the plane. So check on that. If it's a travel charger, you should be okay. So you can see there's a section there on power adapters. What else? Flashlight. Thank you, Bill. We have to say this, mostly for students that like to flaunt a lot of stuff. Leave your expensive jewelry, expensive sunglasses home. $5, go to the sportsman section in Walmart. You get polarized sunglasses, if you're willing to go to Walmart. That's all I do, because if I lose a $5 pair of sunglasses, it's a big deal. I take 2 pair with me anyway. On that. So there's just other things on that. Maybe bring some snacks. Oh, so these flights, there's meals only for purchase. Because the flights are not long enough. They have to be 6 hours or more before they have to offer you a meal for free. So our flights, I think, are right at 6 hours or something from here to Miami. If you're traveling with me, through LAX, it's like a 6-hour flight or something. It's right under the limit. So either bring some with you, or maybe buy it at the airport or buy it on the airline for that. What else? So a nice tip is, if you use hand lotion or something that has glycerin in it, don't do that on the day we fly. Glycerin is used to make bombs. And so you'll get picked up and then they'll pull you aside. Have you ever had that where they swab your hands? And sometimes they pull you further. We've had students get pulled further.
Oh, is that what they do?
They do, they
Yeah.
do a little swab, and they'll do your cell phone too.
How
They
weird.
swab this.
I didn't know why.
Yeah, so just
It's
leave,
random.
don't use hand lotion the day that you're flying, is what I would suggest. So within several hours, wash your hands or something. Why are they enforcing this? Because all the bombers would know to wash their hands, right? So, that's other suggestions. So you can read through all of that. Then more packing tips on the last page. Now, at the very bottom of that says notes from Audrey Smith, veteran world traveler. And her mantra is pack, take out half, bring more money. That's how she gets away with it. Some people, they just throw away clothes when they get dirty and buy more there, kind of helping the economy.
Well, they
So,
said give it to some people I've heard, because I've been following some Facebook groups that go to Cuba. They say they give everything away to the people because they're in such dire
Yeah.
needs of it.
so that's kind of the trip packet.
Yeah.
Do you guys have questions on any of that? That's a great idea.
Like they're wearing clothes?
Yes,
Don't wash them.
as a gift. Not as a donation, as a gift. Right?
Everything's a gift. So in a moment, we'll talk about, see if there's any way to do caravanning or what we might set up on that. Paula, is there anything you wanted to say about what you and Heather were planning?
Let me see if I can get HB on the phone. I tried to get her in. She's actually the one that is spearheading the donations,
The gifts.
the gifts.
I have some in the car.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
Would you like me to bring them in?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get her.
How big is it? Okay.
What?
Good morning, lovely.
Hello.
Hello. So we are here in the meeting and we're talking about the donations, and I thought that you should be, since you're spearheading it. Someone here has some and she's going to bring them. They're not donations, they're gifts. We have to be
Right,
careful
they are
about what
gifts.
we do.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so do you want to say anything about that?
Oh, sure.
let me
Just
turn you
put
up.
them on speaker.
Yes,
Answer
you,
like that? Oh my goodness.
yes, everybody heard the way you answer the phone.
Terrible. Well, I did expect you to call me at like, I don't know, 3 o'clock.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, I've been waiting by the phone.
Hey, I did try to FaceTime you.
Oh, it didn't even tell me. Okay, anyhow. So we're gonna do an extra suitcase. And from what I can tell, we have to pay to take the suitcase. You don't have to pay for suitcases on the way back. Did I understand that correctly?
That's
No.
what I saw, but
We can check 2 bags on American.
But you have to
Right.
pay.
And
No.
we pay a fee
Really?
to go to Cuba with 2 bags.
at least that's what we saw on the website.
On what
$40.
But I
website?
saw
Americans?
on the way
American.
back, it said there's no fee for suitcases, for luggage.
There isn't on the way back, but there is there.
On the way there.
Was that on the American Airline website?
Maybe. I think so.
We always charge $40 a minute.
Okay, great. So probably what we'll do is just use like, oh, so on the way back, it doesn't cost, so it doesn't matter. So we're gonna pay for an extra suitcase going over. I've bought some razors at Costco, some Ziploc bags, a ton of Band-Aids. I don't know other stuff. I just did little mini Costco runs.
Okay, so we just got a bag of like Band-Aids and it looks like, yeah, lots of Band-Aids, antibiotics. So we got a bag full of stuff here already.
Amazon.
Yeah, I have a pretty big suitcase.
So what are the kinds of things that they're recommending?
Oh, Branton had a great list, but, and he also had a site that you could go to look at gifts. And then I sent an email, I'm not sure if I have access to it right this second, but think toiletries, like, just antibiotics were good, Band-Aids were good. Hold on, let me just see if I can find it.
Like, also like Tylenol, Advil, those kinds of things.
Right?
Yeah.
I think feminine hygiene products is what is also on the list.
And do
Diapers.
you have that site
Diapers.
around or?
Too bulky.
I have a laptop, but it is doing a Zoom video right now.
Okay,
And then my phone's got you on it.
yeah.
I was thinking something for kids too. I don't know if I'll bring that in my luggage, but I wanted to bring something for the kids.
There was something that said that's especially nice.
Like
Oh,
crayons, they said, but they're kind of heavy.
Pencils, crayon markers, coloring books.
So how does this get distributed?
Take it to a cafe. She has a cafe.
Yeah.
Okay. So a friend says he's part owner in it. And so I've been in communication with the guy who's there. And I said, hey, what gifts can we bring? And so apparently it's a really, like a community cafe. Paul, you'll have to look at the name. Sorry, we just got to the new empty house, so I don't even have a laptop with me.
She's in the middle of buying a new house and she's going to be moving in soon. So she's a little,
Yeah, we're moving in now.
That's
You know,
exciting.
and I look around now, haven't even taken things off the tables for the movers. So yeah, we're a little behind schedule. Oh well. So Branson included a great website, and that had a lot of the things that I had. Fernando did agree with them, the $1 bills and $5 bills. Like if we can just, throw those around, it would be awesome.
And brand new, because I don't like anything torn, right? Or written on, it said, the dollar bills.
Well, that's if you're trying to exchange the money, I believe. But well, I'm sure Branton has more. Branton, have you been to Cuba before?
No.
Okay, so this is new for all of us.
Yeah.
All right. I figure, anything we bring is going to be great. And so we have a suitcase full. I think that's awesome. So obviously we're just distributing it in Havana. I was thinking for Paula and I, like leaving tips in the hotel, we can just leave stuff that they would want. Like I got a set of the razors, it comes with the razor and then like 10 refills at Costco. I figure that'll be a great housekeeping tip.
Very cool.
Anything else I can suggest?
How will we be assembling these things? Like,
Yes, HB, what are your thoughts about that?
What? I didn't hear it.
How are we going to be assembling those things?
Did we figure out anything for getting to the airport?
That's our next item on the agenda, is to figure out if we're gonna have a caravan.
So if that person who's asking can get to, if they go on the caravan, I can just stick it into the suitcase.
Did you hear that?
yes.
Will you be on the caravan?
Well,
She's a professor. Do you live in LA?
no, I'm in LA a lot, but I don't live there. But I didn't realize we were caravanning, so
Well, we're not sure we are yet.
I had
Talk about
arranged
it.
for someone to take me to LAX, so, but I can work it out. I'll figure it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we take all of
Can
us?
that person drive a van? We'll all go.
Um,
I was like, does anybody have a
they're very
teenager
friendly. I mean,
driving
so
practice?
they don't have a van, they just have their regular.
Oh,
Does somebody have a van? I mean, it can be worked out, yeah. Their car won't hold us, unfortunately, no.
Mhm.
How many need to caravan? All of us in here?
Not
I don't
me.
even know how I'm getting there. I mean, I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
what we're talking
I don't know what time my flight is or what my flight is or who I'm traveling.
Hey, HB, did you add the go-ahead app
Before this.
on your phone? Do you have it on your phone now?
I'm not sure, but I definitely need to look that or whatever our group is.
It's not.
It's called Cuba Libre and you're already in it. And
I don't know.
let me see. There's,
It's
it's called Cuba Libre.
And you're already like,
Oh, it's called Go Ahead. It has our flight itinerary already on it. And we're gonna need that to apply for our visa. And we should do that this week.
Yeah, I agree.
so Paula, let's, I don't want to keep them waiting while you.
Yeah.
So should I end it?
No, but I mean, let's talk about caravanning some.
Okay.
All right, so Alicia, what were you thinking? Or what do you have or in terms of rides? It was just a private person, right?
Yeah, it's a friend of mine that's gonna house sit for me, who was gonna drive me, yeah, the person who.
So is it possible that, I could check to see what the price of a van would be? My general rule of thumb is to leave Corona 4 hours before the flight. So if our flight is at 6, being on our ride at 2 a.m.
Well,
Sorry, the flight is 6 a.m.
5:47. I would recommend to just schedule lifts if you're all gonna ride together, because even though it's up, I've done it many times, it's about $100 to get to LAX from here.
It's a lot of money, yeah.
But
Per
if there's-
person though, right?
Yes, but if there's 3, you put, I forget if it's these before it's 3 now in a car. It's actually, if it's $35 a person, that's a very reasonable in my view for the cost of the airport. Should
Well,
we-
there's also, I've worked with a company called HB that they may have a van and it could be closer to $20 or something. Then we'd have to agree, where we'd meet.
Yeah, should we figure out how many of us are leaving at the time, so how many of us would be riding together, because apparently we're leaving it. I thought we were all going on the same flight from LAX.
We're not, though.
Could we figure out how many are gonna go on the same flight and us be like, okay, let's take a van or.
Well, we don't have everybody here. We only have what's in this room. That's an
Who's
issue.
going, can we figure out who's in this room? We'll go on the same flight.
My phone
husband's
is dead,
going
I'm
too.
sorry. My phone's.
Well, if
Well,
you're on the 13-day trip going out of LAX, you're on the same flight.
Okay. But I'm not, I'm
No,
only 10
so
days, so
I'm
I
not
might be
sure
all alone.
what you're on. Well,
Yeah.
I think you're going out
So
with
then
us,
what
but I'm
time
not
do
sure.
we leave? Cause I'm
5:47.
Hey,
5:47.
in the morning.
Yeah.
It's
So
okay.
he's already.
Like Sierra and I took a lift to LAX 3 a.m. this summer. I mean, this is something I've done in the past. It's pricey, but if you have at least 3 payers in the car, I think the price becomes very reasonable, yeah. It'd be worth.
well,
Any car service that you think is, I mean, in today's
But
world, that's
the,
not.
I mean, the van is fine too. We'll do whatever
Well, I may not have a solution, but I think your idea 3 with Lyft, is it the same with Uber?
Probably, I personally, you know, tend to choose Lyft, but it's probably about the same price wise. I think they tend to be about the
Yeah.
same.
Like 100 and some. I've done the Uber, but
Yeah.
you know, he had his bracelet. His anklet bracelet, the guy was.
Oh, just,
So it's my view that Lyft is better at clearing the drivers. That's just my view. I've never had any problem with Lyft, and
We've done both.
when you schedule it, you can schedule to have a Lyft, a comfort ride, which is supposed to be a bigger vehicle, which is good for airport rides because you have your luggage. They're also 5-star drivers. I mean, there's ways to kind of, I highly recommend if you can schedule. You would of course pre-schedule that. I've never had them not cover anything, even in the middle of the night they come. And they've been punctual. And it's been a good drive. I wouldn't just get in any old regular car that you would call for, especially for this in the middle of the night.
So is your airline, are you leaving it at 5:47? Like, are we on the same flight?
if you're going on the 13-day trip
Yeah.
Yeah.
out of LAX, you are for sure on the same flight.
But
You
I
are
might-
probably on the same flight, but you're the only one that can look up your details.
Yeah, my phone's dead.
And so, but we can maybe get on the laptop and see
Mhm.
what it is.
In a
But
group.
I'm not coming.
But
back.
coming
It's
back.
pretty
it's a
safe.
Yeah, I
different
have to
thing.
check, yeah, with my daughter too, because
I mean,
she
I
bought
thought
those
okay, we
Texas.
were sitting behind and.
I recommend the
Primarily
comfort ride
United
on Lyft
Texas. So I
because the
don't
cars are
understand.
bigger.
My phone was
The
dead.
drivers
My
are
phone's been going dead a
5-star.
lot.
So where would be,
It just charged
if most of
last
us
night.
are leaving
Dead
at the
again.
same, like, where would be our meeting
I don't know
point?
why.
So pick a
Here?
house.
Or where are we meeting?
Well, I would suggest meeting at my house.
Which is where?
I'll give you the address. Well, it's fine. You know where Kellogg Park is?
Nothing, it's here in Corona then.
Yeah, it's
Corona.
right, old Corona. It's,
Mhm.
you know where Crossroads is.
Yes.
It's a half mile from Crossroads.
Okay.
It's dead again, not mine.
So let me see what I can get set up. Let me check with HB. And then if you have some hints that you could just email me on Lyft and then I can check
Yeah.
with that.
Any of these car services in today's world.
And then what I'll do is we'll send an email to everyone who is interested in caravanning. We need to know soon. We got to get it set up
Yeah.
and then go from there. Does that sound good with everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're okay with having a whole bunch of cars parked at your house for 10 days?
Yeah,
Awesome.
and there's room. Driveway's big, street's there. The guy across the street has
There we go.
like
That's Heather.
prison cameras, so it's great, and he will
Gorgeous,
watch. I mean, he
gorgeous.
really,
Those neighbors, right?
he is amazing.
They're watching the
Oh,
whole
hi.
block for you.
Yeah, he does. So,
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have.
I mean, I pulled in,
There you are.
it was like midnight or something. I had come back from LA Phil or something. I pull in my garage and I get involved in a text, so I'm reading everything. And he sends me a text. I'm not sure if you know that your garage door is open. Like midnight, right? So he watches. It's a very safe place to put cars because he watches all the time. He watches from work. He's always got his footage. It's really incredible.
I have a neighbor like that will text me if the crash might
Yeah.
happen.
Here we all are.
Well, all right, so I did find on the American website, and so Heather was correct on that. So going to Cuba, you have to pay for a bag, and I tried to find Cuba Libre on my WhatsApp, so I don't know if I got an invitation from you
Okay, let me.
for it, but I will send that. But it ranges, it's like 0/35. And I think what that means is when I looked at the small print, I have to find that again. We're not basic economy. Because they never do that. So you got to read the small print. But anyway, it's either a small fee or that first bag going is $0. I mean, I'll send you the site and you guys can decode it to figure it out. Or I'll send it to Heather right now. Do I have her number?
I can't speak.
You're on, but you sound a little distorted, that's all.
All right, well, I don't want to keep people here, forever. So, any other questions, or you guys feel good about everything?
So basically I have to get a visa. That's the
Yeah.
first thing. And then what's the other thing that there's the QR code thing. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
So the visa and the QR
On
code,
December 25th
this QR code
is the
thing.
QR code.
And the CB,
What else?
there's another app you need to add. The CB, what was
The
it?
CBP app. It's
Yeah, the CBP app.
right here.
Okay,
You just come to my house.
okay, good.
Right?
Good. I'll make sure Rylan does that, but I'm sure she gets
Ryland
this
can
right.
figure it out, I'm sure.
Okay,
But we'll just
she'll know
loop
that.
her in on the
Yeah,
phone.
and I have to see why her ticket says Texas.
Well, because she booked that ticket on her own.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, me, I have to figure out, because I think, yes, because I'm not going to Texas, I'm going to Miami.
Yeah,
Right.
I need to add.
Well,
you
we
in it.
think,
Yeah,
Um,
and then on the way home.
What I can
must be
do
going
is there's a
to-
QR code. If you
I must be
scan
going
the
to
QR
Texas
code,
on the
you
way
get
home.
in,
Okay.
if that's okay. Okay.
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
Unless she tried to
Is
do
it
something
Adam?
with
'Cause
you
Yeah,
guys'
you're in.
flights.
Yeah, so.
So
maybe
I don't know what
I'll
happened on
Texas.
that.
She's gonna be having me. A little strange place on the.
So Paula, I've sent you the specific information that I saw on, looks like it's the same one twice, but it's specifically for Cuba, and it may be that first bag is 0.
Yeah,
But if you're
but a second bag is like
doing a second bag,
125.
you'll have to pay.
But last time I flew American was last month, and I thought I read that, and then when I got there, the first bag is your carry-on. And your second bag is your.
But that's not to Cuba. There's a.
Yeah,
different
I'm just
policy.
saying, but to like within the States, I read that, I thought, oh, my first bag's free, and then when I got there, your first bag called your carry-on, and your second bag is called your.
From what I read, if I read correctly, it was like the first bag was like 50 or $80, and the second bag was like 50 or $80.
I can
To go
send that
there.
link out if
Great
you
coming back.
admit me to the WhatsApp group, so I can.
You are in, I
send it.
promise. You're already in.
I don't believe it.
Keeping it out.
Look, see, you're in.
Well,
Because you're
maybe I need
already
an
in my, do
invitation or something.
you think so? Let me see.
Did anybody get my message or just send a message?
Do you, I can make you a group admin.
Did you get it?
Maybe that's what you
My
need.
phone is dead,
Oh, your
I know,
phone's
and I
dead.
don't know why it's been going dead this last week,
Oh.
yeah, so I'm like. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Somebody's wrong.
I just
Anybody
made
get
you
my
an
message? Did you
admin.
get my
Maybe
message?
that's what I had to do.
On what-
Bill, I'm gonna make you an
I
admin
have
because you're
WhatsApp
already in
now.
it too.
Okay.
Yeah. Had it for years.
Okay, I did get a Cuba Libre.
So you're in.
Paula
Did
Tilton
anybody get my
added you.
message? Is that hello, everyone? I'm testing it out. Did anybody get my message?
I
Uh,
did, I
Okay.
did.
I did not.
I do have it also.
Okay.
Oh,
But Tim's didn't, he put he didn't get his.
Okay, I just approved him.
Oh, okay, so he.
So
okay,
he should
good.
get it now.
He should be okay.
Oh, and you just added the link about the bag policy.
yeah.
Random. Okay. Have you,
Let's see here.
Nancy, are you in here?
I have a WhatsApp app. I mean,
Here.
I have it for a long time, but I
But your
don't know.
phone's
But
dead
my
right now.
phone is dead, yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't know why it keeps doing that.
Let me see if I can add you
So-
just,
But I'm on WhatsApp.
oh, I'm gonna try and add the
Wonder.
flag into our little thing. I haven't done that yet. I want to get everybody in first. Okay, so let me see if I can add you in the old. Hey, HB, are you in the WhatsApp? Can you see it? Because you are already in, so I think it was easy to add you. Okay, so I'm gonna add you the old fashioned way. So let me see.
I was looking at my old pictures on WhatsApp. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen those in a while.
Oh, I know, it's funny when you have
Mhm.
those.
Nancy,
that?
what's your last name?
Cleveland, Cleveland.
Okay, I'm gonna make you a new contact. What's your phone number?
951 660-6783.
And flip flops or wedding
In
ring.
You get a
here.
Ryland too.
And the only reason wedding flip flops if we're going swimming, right? But,
See.
just shoot.
I'm not gonna bring, I'll probably just bring like a pair of sandals and flip flops and. I don't know, it's gonna be cold at 5 o'clock in the morning to wear flip flops, so I might wear. my tennis shoes.
Yeah, so ties and sandals.
Yeah,
Are you there? Hello?
Walking.
yeah, comfortable.
You have
walking
Miguel right
shoes.
now.
Yeah, how much we're gonna be
You have
walking
Miguel.
all day. Mostly
I'm
walking.
bringing a hat.
And I
A hat, and if I forget it, if I don't want to carry it around, those sun hats, the straw hats.
Mhm.
I really just buy one there or just bring it,
Mm.
bring one.
I
sunglasses
have one
and
that you
hats.
can fold and.
Oh,
pack
lucky
it
you,
up.
yeah, I thought
Yeah.
about that, yeah.
And then a baseball hat
Mm.
too.
Yes, hats, sunglasses and well, I have bought some pants like these are from Rip Curl, these. I bought a bunch of these for Cuba,
Yeah.
because I
Those are
figured,
perfect.
it's like if it's humid or something.
Yeah,
and-
Yes.
And it's just like, I bought a bunch of these.
Is it
It's-
comfy?
So
Yeah.
Nancy, when your phone is back on, you're gonna get a text from me.
Perfect.
Just accept it, okay?
Okay, yeah. Do you want to put Rylan on there?
Ryland's already in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she's in.
I mean, I think it's all casual. We just need to wear comfortable clothes.
I looked up online yesterday,
Mhm.
what do you wear in Cuba? And it said lightweight clothing, loose clothing. They said, but then I don't know, this is just somebody talking online. They said at night, like when you go places, they don't like you to wear beach gear at night. They like the women to wear like dresses, like lots of sundresses, and then the men like just like shirts. That's just what I read. I don't know if it's true or not, but like casual. And they said, but during the day, like cotton. They said cotton, a lot of cotton stuff.
Well,
But
we
I just
Yeah,
saw that.
where will we be having, like, when would, so our plan, I've seen the itinerary, but,
Yeah.
so we come back to the hotel early enough where, and then, when do we do like our shopping? For people, where do we do that? It's just
They'll
road
take
trip?
us on the
They'll
trip
take- the
to
guides
to the
will-
districts,
okay.
yes.
Not that I'm that big of a shopper, but still.
I don't know if I'm wrong, but you can bring the items back to the US from Cuba. They will let us because we're going as educators, because I know,
Well, they won't let you bring cigars as educators.
No rum.
no,
or
not
cigar-
cigars.
I think
Those
you
are
can
illegal.
bring,
Like souvenirs.
yeah, you know what? I mean, I looked it up and what I found was it was the same as anything else, up to $800, without having to pay a duty. And you could bring back that it's no different than coming from Mexico. It's like 1 liter of alcohol and
Really? Okay.
yeah, but I would look it up, but I was surprised because I thought you could not do that, and it was pretty specific that the rules apply equally to Cuba as they do to any place else. $800 and you're going to be paying a
Because there was
A
a
duty.
sugar you couldn't bring.
I
Well,
think
yeah.
that's one of the reasons they don't charge for suitcases. They want you to buy stuff, take it back with you.
yeah.
So we got everything? Everybody good?
So,
I want to thank Bill and Beth
Yeah,
again
thank
for
you.
Yes.
for hosting. It's really nice.
Hi. Good food.
Did you already put a picture in for our? group?
I did.
Ugh.
What? It's the
Yeah,
flag.
better one.
It's the
Okay,
flag.
Paula, you can tell me.
I vote for the flag.
Later.
Okay, I did take video, so I will
Yeah.
send it to you.
I'm gonna send you the picture I think you ought to put in.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
all right. Bye. Have fun moving. When do you get your baby back?
Yeah, we dropped.
Nancy, if you
They
want-
look like it should be really
We can just go on my computer at my home and get on your.
No, that'll be
Yeah.
perfect though. You know that,
I can't
right?
do it now,
Okay.
but yeah, that'll be
Just
cool.
need to do it this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd be
Yeah,
tripping all
that
over them
sounds
and they'd be freaking
Let's
out.
do that one, but we have to wait to do the Lisa. or wait to-
Yeah, but let's find your flight
Yep.
and stuff,
Okay, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
mud.
Yeah.
Pause.
yeah.
or, you know,
Yes.
your computer at home. you can
All right,
probably
I'll talk to you
I
later.
have a computer.
All righty,
But if
love
you-
you.
Love you too.
Willing to
Bye.
download the Go Ahead app. You
Okay, I
can get
just
to your
sent the
phone.
request.
Oh, my phone?
I'm
I can
gonna-
do that tomorrow. That's what I was gonna do right now, and my phone went
Okay.
dead.
Okay, well,
But no,
nice.
So Marina, you okay with everything?
Yeah.
You excited?
Excited. I'm a little
Okay, you're in,
sad
Alicia.
for my son, but I'm excited otherwise.
And we're glad you're going.
Play around with WhatsApp so you're comfortable.
Yes, I need
Okay?
to, I need to.
Make sure he has it on his phone.
Okay, we gotta
Okay.
figure it
And
out.
if you can, you send me your hints.
Yes, on the list, yeah. It's a
Nice
pleasure.
seeing you.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, yeah.
I don't know how many we're gonna go.
Well, I need to send that out and say,
Yeah.
let us know.
But I've done it a couple times with kids in the middle of the night, it works out. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes we. If I can't, I'm gonna, tomorrow, I'm gonna, tonight, I'm gonna download.
Want a caravan.